Previously, on Chosen Ones. The morning after the fight at the pond, Brandy and Avayath go for a jog around the compound. Brandy uses it as an excuse to get the paladin to talk about what's bothering him. The Asmer admits he heard from Rue recently, and is worried he won't be able to save everyone with how dire things have become. Meanwhile, Theo wakes up in a panic, forgetting where he is for a moment. Shui attempts to comfort him, but finds Theo's deeply rooted trauma more difficult to soothe with usual words of encouragement. He offers to teach Theo how to meditate later, to ease his anxiety. Brandy and Avayath start to head back to the cabin after their talk, coming across Arthur as the time traveler says goodbye to Libris and Zairi. He seems frustrated with how things are going, being left behind by the two of them, while Estel and Merlin are also refusing to speak with him. He asks Brandy to speak with Estel on his behalf to try and get back on her good side. The group reunites at the cabin briefly before Shui and Avayath go to do their own morning exercises. Theo confides in Brandy about his lingering fears, hoping to get healthier coping mechanisms. Brandy reveals he's finally started to pick up some paladin magic from the oath he's taken, and the two share a light-hearted moment as they wait for the others to return to go talk to Estel.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go. On we'll go.
Alrighty, so what are you guys doing next?
Talking to Estel.
Are you all going to talk to her?
After our morning jog and breakfast, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So you guys start heading towards the library to go talk to Estel. And as you are making your way towards the library, Brandy vanishes.
God fucking damn you. I was waiting for this to happen.
I will let them react though, because you vanished.
Well, immediately Theo's reaching out in his brain, which I assume doesn't work because of the planes.
It does. I think it goes across planes.
Oh, shit.
Let me double check.
Ooh.
It doesn't specify. I will say it'll work like the same as sending, where you have to roll a D100.
Okay.
So just don't get below 5.
Okay, so yeah, it goes through.
Okay. Basically, it's just Theo breaking out. And like, Brandy, where did you go? Did you do that on purpose? Why did you leave so suddenly?
As they were walking along, I like to imagine Brandy was like, yeah, I mean, I'm so glad that we're all back together and that everything's good now and that nothing will ever tear us apart. And then just disappeared.
The badge command did that on purpose.
Literally, like dead ass on purpose, being like, oh yeah, it's so nice. I feel like we're closer than it. He's gone.
Yeah, but Brandy, you immediately appear in that kind of like backstage area that you've seen before, and the little on-air sign flashing in the middle of the room that he is kind of like almost sitting on.
Hey, sorry, it's been a bit, hasn't it?
Oh my god.
Were
Hi.
you in the middle of something?
Kinda, but I mean...
Brandy, oh my god, where did you go?
Sorry, there's a tiny Theo in my brain. Hold on, I gotta respond to this. Magic Man meeting. He grabbed me real quick.
Well, he should warn you next time.
Oh, but where's the fun in that?
Yeah. Okay. I don't. He can hear us, I guess. Wait, can Theo hear him respond?
No.
Okay. Hey, yeah, I don't think that's how he rolls exactly. I'll be back soon. Don't worry about it. I'm fine.
Okay. Tell me if anything goes wrong or that you need me.
Yeah, will do. Okay. It's good to know.
You wanted to talk, though.
I did. It's been 6 months, so I gotta remember what the fuck I wanted to talk to you about. What did my creator want to ask you? Several things. First of all, how are you, how's, things been?
Busy. So busy. That time of the universe and all that.
I wish to God I knew what you were talking about.
Just getting things ready, just in case things go bad.
Ah, I see. I think I've heard about a few people getting things ready in case things go south.
Never can be too careful.
Speaking of which, that, you know anything about that arc thing?
Oh, yes, that. Yes, I do know about it, yes.
You know what that is exactly, or what's going on with that, or?
Oh, you'll find out about it pretty soon.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Oh, no problem. Great to be here.
So, some things that have happened recently, I'm sure you've noticed. The universe is back together for now, at the very least. I've made progress, actually, on finding out where that black heart is.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
Where is it? Where is it?
We aren't completely sure yet, but my current thinking, it's in 2? Yeah, are there 2 of them? Or just the one?
It should have been one. It should definitely have been one.
Well, we had a feller help look for it, and as far as we could tell, he got 2 readings on where it popped up.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Love a plot twist. Excellent.
He's like tapping his foot on the ground.
Yeah, so as far as we know, one of them seems like it's in mirror depths, and the other seems like it might be in the Black Forest or around that area.
Good to know. You still have to be the one to go get it, unfortunately, but good to know.
Right, yeah, and I do plan to. We're making plans to head out pretty soon, so one of those places is our next stop for sure. I just wanted to let you know we were making progress as far as that goes. Couple questions. Couple things that have come up about you.
Oh, you're talking about me.
I'm finding stuff out about you, not necessarily intentionally, but just through word of mouth.
Gossip?
Yeah. Gossip, shit talking, whatever you want to call it, yeah.
I'm sure all great things, man. A lot of good opinions.
Some interesting things, at the very least. World Eater? That at all familiar to you?
And who gave you that name?
I heard that name from, the Abergrim.
I guess you could call it that.
What's that nickname about, exactly?
Well, someone has to reset things.
So you eat worlds?
No. I mean, he can call it that if he wants to.
So you end...
Reabsorb is a better term that I like to use.
Ah, gotcha. So you... just the whole universes, or, like...
Well, not the whole universe, just the people in them.
Is that right?
It's just part of the process. Why? Does that bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me. I guess that makes sense with the whole Black Heart thing being the origin of Sparks and all that. I guess.
Well, it is mine, so.
Right, yeah, exactly.
No, I mean literally.
And you see for the first time he kind of like opens up his jacket a little bit, and there is just a blank space in his chest.
Ah.
It's my heart, specifically.
Yeah, quite literally. I see.
So it's no wonder he thinks of me as heartless.
Yeah. He does not have a very high opinion of you, unfortunately. I mean, he doesn't hate you completely, I guess, because, he's working with me, kind of, maybe, in the future. We're working towards the same goal now.
I think he just hates everyone anyway, so it doesn't hurt my feelings. Well, can't hurt my feelings right now, actually. Missing a lot of them. That's okay, though.
I see. Missing feelings because of the heart thing?
I guess you could say perhaps I lack some empathy, but I still remember it. So I'm just kind of acting on how I remember how that used to be.
I see.
It's worked out so far.
And then you, at some point, you had a pact with a person named Vermona, from what I've
All
heard.
right. Yes, one of the side projects. That one didn't work out, unfortunately.
What happened there?
She broke the contract. I don't know how. She's probably in an indescribable amount of pain constantly, but she did break it.
What was her contract? What were you...
Same as anyone who makes a contract with me, to become a better person. The world wronged her in ways that I felt were unfair. She was blamed for a lot of things that weren't her fault. I approached her. She agreed to take the contract. To be fair, she was quite young at the time, and, well, I think at a certain point she just decided she stopped enjoying being told what to do.
I see. Interesting. Do you know anything about her? Anything you can share with me, necessarily?
I guess she witnessed someone important to her die in front of her, and that must have triggered it. And, well, from there she's vanished on and off. I've sent her out to do little odd jobs. And like I said, at some point, she just decided she didn't want to do it anymore. I think she's sick of people messing with her.
I see. I met her briefly, or a version of her at least, in another timeline. That was interesting. Didn't seem like the greatest of folks.
I'd say honestly, unfortunately, she's probably the best she's ever been in this timeline.
That's good news?
Good in the sense that I don't think she's trying to end everything. Bad in the sense that she's not listening to anyone anymore.
I know that she at least has a sword from, or at least I would imagine she has a sword from the, Evergrim.
Well, that doesn't mean that she's listening to him. Once you give a sword away, it's the owner's sword. You can do whatever you want, and you don't have to have any good relationship with the person who gave it to you.
Right. I just, just some coincidental connection there, I guess. Fella that really doesn't like you gives a sword to someone who broke a deal with you, and
I'm sure it'll be fine. What can they do to me?
I don't know. It's a great question.
Probably nothing.
Sparks work on gods, though, right? But you're not a god, I guess, so...
No, I'm not.
Right, so it wouldn't work on you, then. Probably.
Probably not. No one has ever tried to take me down in any sense, in any world, so...
That's good to know. Good to hear.
Is that all? You just wanted a little check-in? Little info dump?
We're all trying to, plan this stuff out, try to fix everything. We got a couple ideas in terms of, like, taking out that feller, the one, the other Arthur.
Mm-hmm. I am well aware.
And during our conversation with our Arthur, the idea of, like, not chosen ones in the sense of, like, what our world calls them, but that the other one before slain, I think I can say it, yes?
Yes, his name isn't safeguarded anymore.
Yeah, he had chosen folks and his choices are still in...
Oh, you're talking about the roles.
The roles?
I'm surprised Arthur hasn't brought that up, honestly.
I mean, I think he's afraid of, like, everything in our world collapsing when he talks about anything.
That is a fair point, yes.
Yeah. What are roles exactly? What do you mean by that?
They're necessary to tell a good story, which is what the end goal is of all this, so you might also know them as archetypes.
Uh-huh.
Originally, there were 12, but there are some rough ones that have formed since then, amateur ones, really. They only exist because things haven't progressed in the story, otherwise there are usually just the 12. And those extra roles will probably disappear when things are back on track.
I see. Interesting. Is there any way of knowing, like, who's got what roles exactly?
I can tell you the names. That's probably about all.
Sure. That might help.
The original 12 are the innocent, the orphan, the hero, the caregiver, the explorer, the rebel, the lover, the creator, the gesture, the sage, the magician, and finally the ruler. Normally these roles are taken on by regular folk like yourselves, however there are 2 exceptions. The creator is a mortal who becomes a god, and the magician is a god who becomes mortal. And no, before you ask, that's not Shui.
Gotcha. You said one of them was the Jester?
The Jester, yes.
That one is Shui.
What makes you say that?
His title's the Cackling Sea Jester.
Well, he really hit it on the nose with that one.
Yeah. That's weird, because also Shui's parents had, like, the lover blade. Does that have anything to do with those, or is that just coincidental?
Oh, the swords. Yes, those are just named after them. They don't actually correlate with who has what role. They can, but it's more so just a basis, I suppose.
I see. So then, yeah, the swords have, or at least just named after him, you said. So Shui's base blade, you didn't mention like a base roll or anything like that.
Well, the names can sometimes be adjacent, not necessarily a one-to-one. I mean, one of the blades is the corpse blade, and there's no corpse roll.
Yeah, I was gonna say that as well. That wasn't exactly entirely clear either. I assume then that each of us has some sort of role. Maybe not Avayath, as far as I know. Maybe he does? I don't know. I don't know how this works. Arthur's told us that in other timelines, everyone except for Avayath becomes a chosen one, so I don't know if that has anything to do with that.
No, he still has a role.
I see. I assume you can't just, like, tell me them. Probably. Cool. Yeah?
I mean, I could. Do you want an easy answer for once? Just straightforward?
That'd be cool.
Shui is the gesture, as you figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Theo, I think that one's also been said by my lovely warlock, the Glitch. He's a built role, so he is one of the ones that have formed because things didn't progress fast enough. And then Avayath is the hero.
I figured that. That's fitting.
And you also have a new role.
Oh?
You were at one point, when you were very young, the innocent, but it's rare that people keep that role for very long. You're the redeemed now.
I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm redeemed, necessarily, but that...
The audience begs to differ.
And when he says that, you see the eyes open up around you.
Oh, my... Yeah. Speaking of those,
He'll show the magic man his hands.
Oh, you have a friend.
Yeah, sure do. I tried looking into them, and then suddenly they,
Well, if you take an interest in them, they take an interest in you.
I've noticed they like to peek around occasionally.
They're usually harmless, so... Usually.
Usually? What is the, circumstance in which they're not?
Well, sometimes the audience gets restless. A member or two may step out of line, but they're not supposed to. Most of the audience doesn't appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
At least if they are making themselves that clear to you, you're at the very least being entertaining.
Right. That reminds me of our conversation with Arthur back when gave him a stern talking to about that whole main character thing. That have anything to do with the roles then, or is that a completely different thing that they're looking into, or?
Well, the main character can be any one of the roles.
I see. And do we have any idea, like, how we'll know, or are we supposed to know, or does it matter? Or...
It'll happen when it happens.
Okay, so it probably hasn't happened yet then.
No.
Gotcha.
Things would change very drastically if there was a new main character.
I see. And Arthur's the current one then, you said.
One Arthur.
Right, one of the Arthurs is.
Your Arthur has a different role than the one that's currently in charge.
Is that right? If I had to take a shot in the dark then, that makes, I don't know, he'd probably be like, you mentioned like a sage? That seems like him probably then.
Bingo.
Interesting. And then when he was here, you said you could just replace him?
Oh, yes, that. Well, sort of. I could, yes.
But...
The one in charge made sure that all of the Arthurs and all of the other timelines are just gone out of everywhere. So it would take a long time a lot of reconstruction on my part, which really isn't worth it to put all those back together again.
That certainly makes our plan a little bit more difficult. I mean, we didn't have any ideas involving using another timeline Arthur, but one of the ideas was merging the Arthurs together and just hoping that shit works out in our favor. Don't want to necessarily risk everything on that.
Interesting idea.
Is it interesting?
It could be.
Yeah, we're not sure yet. We're still working everything out. We got suggested ideas on like merge with him or put him in a time loop again or use the Black Heart to like get rid of chosen ones altogether, I guess.
The time loop won't work for very long, so wouldn't recommend that again.
Gotcha.
He was only in it for not long at all, honestly.
Oh?
Yes, well, as there are other Arthurs, there are also other Zyries. That's probably how he got out of that one.
Oh, right. He mentioned something. He yelled about, like, you're the wrong Zyrie or something when we ran into him the first time. So we should probably watch out for other Zyries then, probably.
Maybe. Who knows if they'll show up.
I hope not. Good to know. Old Cross put him in a time loop off the list. The only other one we talked about was killing him from a distance to take his place.
That's a difficult one. You see, there's someone who's already supposed to kill him eventually, so someone else doing it could break everything anyway.
Well, good thing that we didn't really want to do that one anyway. So, the options are merge two Arthurs or use Blackheart to get rid of chosen ones, essentially.
No more chosen ones.
That was one of the ideas, is what Arthur suggested.
That could make an interesting world.
Yeah, it certainly would be, interesting. Take a lot of weight off a lot of people's shoulders, probably.
Let's just hope it's interesting enough.
Yeah? The way you say that is menacing, you know that, right?
I told you, we have an audience. Things have to be entertaining. This world existed without chosen ones for a time, so it's quite possible it could continue without them too.
Okay.
You could try and redeem him.
I've tried getting through to him. He doesn't want to listen. He's very pissy.
It was mostly a joke.
Yeah, no. If it was an option, I would try. He seems like he's set in his ways, unfortunately. I think that's about it, as far as I can think, off the top of my head. Also, your name just the Magic Man, or you got another one?
I have a lot of different names. Which one are you talking about?
Scout?
Oh, Talent Scout is one of them, yes.
I've been picking up a few of your names. You prefer the Magic Man then, I guess?
I do actually have a name, if you want that one. Not all these silly titles.
Sure.
My name is Cheshire.
That's funny. Cheshire?
I think it suits me.
Nice name you got there.
Thank you. Oh, I know that you have had issues recently with, that little safe haven area for you to be able to talk to people and get some more answers. The Keep.
Ah, yeah. That's, I'm real nervous about going and trying to call Nather. I feel like he's gonna turn me to sand if I step up to him at all.
Understandable. I'm going to make sure that you can get in contact with others and continue to have that safe place considering the state of the world. So I'm going to introduce you to my assistant. Actually, you've already met them.
Assistant?
I know Arthur explained to you a long time ago how the structure of things work. That's what he became, actually. He is the writer. And then there's the readers.
And he gestures to your hands at that.
Yeah, I figured that.
The binding, that's what we're in right now, actually. My studio's a part of it.
I see, yeah. I've been here a time or two.
The ink, which is yours truly, and then there are the pages.
And you see kind of like this light pour out from where his mouth would be, as he seems to be grinning.
Would you like to know what that is, or who that is, actually?
Sure.
And you see him pull off his hat.
Follow-up question. Do you want to see a magic trick?
and you see him reach into his hat, like full down all the way up to his shoulder, and there's some hesitation. He seems like he's almost like doing a bit where he's like, oh, like moving his hand around, like, where is it? And he pulls his arm back up, and you see a very familiar white rabbit with golden blue speckles on top of its head. What am I doing here?
Oh. Hi, Libris.
She looks towards you, and you see her like cover herself almost like she's naked. She's in rabbit form, and she like looks over towards the magic man who's holding her by the ears, and she's just like, I was in the middle of something.
That's great. You can quit playing house with my warlock for 2 seconds. I'm giving you an order.
And he points to Brandy.
You are going to be the new escort to the keep. I know your little friend with the wings had the temper tantrum not too long ago. I'd like to avoid our current candidates being blown up, as exciting as that might be, and I know you have another way to get in.
And Libris is like looking between you and him and just like, I told you, I'm busy right now.
Oh, me too! I'm trying to keep the fabric of reality from falling apart, and what are you doing exactly?
And she's just staring at him.
Smooching in the hot springs.
You can see like a rabbit blush on her face. And she looks over and she's like, I'm doing things.
In the hot spring?
But, stop it. And you see him kind of like snap his fingers at that.
Then it is settled. Bye now.
And he like starts to shove her back into the hat, and she's like, hey, wait! And then she's gone. Back into the hat.
Well, that's real kind of you. Thank you. I'll be sure to contact Libris whenever we need to head there then, I guess.
Well, you were in the middle of something, weren't you?
Yeah, we were about to go talk to Estel about
Right. Yes.
some things. Yeah.
Well, have fun. And a word of advice as you continue to become stronger. Be careful with your temper.
And he snaps his finger, and you go back.
Oh, thank goodness.
Sorry, I didn't expect to be yoinked all of a sudden like that. That was the magic man. I had a meeting with him.
Did it go well?
I think it did. I got a little bit more peace of mind and a little bit more info on the world in general. So that was nice at the very least.
Anything pertinent?
Yeah, I suppose. We got a way into the keep now. Easier. Libris actually will be able to take us into the keep if we need to go.
Libris?
She has another way in, apparently.
Sure.
Yeah.
Libris?
Yeah, Libris. Yeah, Libris, apparently works for the magic man.
He's just blinking.
Well, this surprises me.
Something's strange about Libris.
Oh, really?
Doesn't entirely surprise me.
I guess not.
It still matter.
You have a right to be. She lied to you, and I don't blame you. Don't gotta talk to her, she can just, take us, so there's that. It wasn't a ton, just clearing some stuff up that I'd heard about the Magic Man and letting them know where the Black Heart might be, since that seems kind of pertinent to our plans on fixing everything. Also, learned 2 of our plans on stopping the big bad Arthur. Killing him from a distance probably is a bad idea. Trying to replace him is probably a bad idea because there's somebody already set to do that. So if we fuck that up, we might just destroy the universe anyway.
Ah.
And putting him in another time loop ain't gonna work very long. So probably scratch that off the list. Our plans are mainly make it so there are no more chosen ones, or hope that if Arthur merges with them, things will be fine.
The chosen one thing will probably be good. I mean, it's not like people all the time are planning for that, so...
Every plan we have has some potential downsides to it.
But everyone here depends on a chosen one.
You don't have to be a chosen one to be dependable.
He's kind of gesturing out overall. He's like, I mean, our society is based on there being a chosen one. If there's no more chosen one, people won't know how to act, right?
I think it'll be alright.
It would be a pretty drastic change, but I mean, if that's what we have to do.
Avayath's like, I don't get to be one anyway, so there's no point to them
Might as well just get rid of them
anymore.
altogether, because I don't get to be one, so just fuck, nobody gets to be one anymore.
This is his villain arc.
Chosen ones have reigned supreme for far too long.
That was literally evil Avayath's motive.
I mean, I'd rather have that than lose you guys.
Yeah, same.
Not allowing just some people to become all powerful is certainly a better choice than losing someone that we do know.
Yeah, that's true. No more chosen ones means no more fallen ones.
Yep, that's fair. The only issue with that is that if the world ain't interested without chosen ones, things might still end.
Interesting.
For who?
The people paying attention. And Brandy will show his palms.
Wide open.
Wait, they're watching? Like, actually watching?
Not always. Sometimes they're closed, but when I talk about them, they pay attention.
Well, it's a wonder they didn't place an ear on you somewhere, And Theo says that sassily.
Yeah, I found out a lot, but I can talk about it more later, probably. I mean, I was told it, so it's probably fine, right? I don't know. Anyway, we should probably talk to Estel.
Yeah, back to business.
All right, you guys start heading to the library.
Mentor Estel!
Estel got a warning this time before Avayath slams the door open.
So you did shout, I guess, before?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Aren't you going to knock as Avayath does that?
Oh, right. Estel always tells me to knock. I always forget.
Just... But you just hear from the other end, oh, goodness gracious, did you come in?
Hello, Estel.
Hello. Oh, you're all here.
Hi, Mentor Estel.
Well, I wanted to speak with you, and it turned out everybody else wanted to speak with you as well, so we all came together.
Oh, good. Great. What did you want to talk about?
Happy to see you two.
Yeah, so I received a message from my old adventuring partner, Rue. Turns out that she said she's not able to meet with me, and the reason is because of how do I say this?
The king's evil.
It's because of a contract with King Larkspur, apparently.
Wait, you talked to Rue?
Yes, it happened last night, but you had your whole dream thing and we had to deal with a Bishu, so didn't really get a chance to talk about it until now.
Well, that's so good, Yaya.
I mean, it would be good if she weren't stuck at the capital.
So what is it? You're trying to get across again?
Well,
King's evil.
I just wanted you to... My mind on King Larkspur's starting to change. It's a little strange that he's keeping Rue there against her will and that she's not able to meet me. There were also some other things that I found strange about Larkspur lately. The black sapphires that Flynn was handing out. When we went to the trial for Master Dashi, it turned out that someone at the courtroom swallowed one of those black sapphires and they transformed into a jabber.
Mm-hmm.
Transformed?
Into a jabber, yeah, like you said.
I didn't know that was a possibility.
Either that's a massive oversight on the kingdom's behalf, or there's something that they're not telling us about these black sapphires.
Well, I'm sure the king just didn't realize if that is the case. That seems like a pretty high claim to... They're just valuable.
Isn't it strange that suddenly, as soon as the king started just handing out all these black sapphires, suddenly a lot of jabbers started showing up?
I mean, I wouldn't say... I suppose it's
That whole
strange.
courtroom case was just incredibly strange. Out of nowhere, Shui was taken over by a Bishu, and then the whole courtroom, the judge and everyone just started attacking him, just trying to execute him on the
Taken
spot.
over by Ibishu? Ibishu is a dead god.
How is it that you noticed me and Theo practicing my thunder stepping magic outside the pond and you didn't hear the giant fight happening yesterday outside?
I was busy.
With what?
Things.
The Ark?
This again.
Is that it?
Well, there's one more thing. Although, unfortunately, this one I can't go into detail about. But another thing I found strange was... Arthur showed us some things. I can't really go into detail on what he showed us. But he showed us some pretty strong evidence that Elia and King Larkspur might actually be working together in some way.
Yeah.
I mean, up until now, believe me, I didn't want to believe the Abraham any more than you did. It sounded like a conspiracy theory to me, but with all these things adding up, I just want to know the truth.
I understand your concerns, but I have worked with the king for centuries. I know him.
Please get your head out of your ass for a second, Estel. You can be wrong, like anybody else can, and you should recognize that when mounting evidence against a person is coming up. You should reevaluate your relationships.
Well, I didn't necessarily come here to tell her to just jump ship immediately, but I think we should look into this.
The evidence
It wouldn't hurt to gather more evidence.
Let's just put a pin on King Larkspur for now. Is that all you wanted to talk to me about?
No, not necessarily. Well, first of all, before we get into the bigger shit, you should talk to Arthur. You should stop ignoring him.
I haven't been ignoring him.
You're a liar.
I've just been busy.
Why are you lying?
I'll talk to him soon.
It's not his fault that we vanished for...
Oh, that I was lied to. That I was told you all were dead, and then you weren't. I was blatantly lied to.
It's not his fault. It was not the Arthur you'd know.
Still, just having a hard time wrapping my head around why.
There are all sorts of shenanigans going on that are difficult to explain because it puts a lot of things at risk.
If you want to know why, I think the best way to figure out is to talk things out with Arthur. He can explain everything, or some things, probably.
Yeah, you just have to be willing to listen to him.
Let's also put a pin on that and move on.
Oh my god. You can't put a pin in everything, Estel. You gotta face some of these problems eventually.
And I will. There are a lot of problems piling up, and I will deal with them.
Like?
You seem to keep bringing it up, so... The Ark, for example? Trying to save people.
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
You have to go into this with an open mind. You have to understand that what I'm trying to do is going to save people, and it's saved people before.
It's a real bad start, okay?
At this point, what would surprise us?
I mean, if I had to... No, you just go ahead. You go ahead.
The Ark is a fold in the universe. It's a way to jump from one to another. It's different from what Arthur does with time. It's just a completely new world, and it's a way to save us if this one disappears. It takes the form of the Aramore comet that appears every 100 years.
Ooh, that's what they were trying to fucking do. Oh.
I've studied that. I thought it was just, meteorological phenomena that was very interesting to me, but now I'm rethinking why I am so interested in some things.
Once inside the fold, you'll have to wait for the next universe to form, so you have to time it correctly. We were lucky in the one that my family came from. It was already close to collapsing, like this one is now. We might not get another chance to get on board.
But then, what if the universe doesn't fall apart? People can't get out?
I don't know. We've only done it once.
Well, that seems like a hell of a risk to be putting people in without knowing if you can get them out if everything gets fixed. We're trying to fix everything.
But you need to have a plan for if you can't.
Plus, how would you get everyone into the Ark?
You see her kind of grimace at that. It takes a lot of energy in order to access the Ark. A lot of people had to sacrifice themselves in order to allow the royal family to board.
Sacrifice?
Excuse me?
Listen,
What?
I said you have to go into this with an open mind.
It sounds like you sacrificed people to save your skin.
Only half of us even managed to make it.
That doesn't make it better.
So only the royal family was allowed?
They were willing sacrifices.
That doesn't make it better, Estel.
I don't care who is dedicated to who, you do not give your life
Listen,
for something like that.
we're talking about a small fraction
so that more people can make it. And even then, it's not a guarantee once you're on board. It takes, like I said, it can take a long time for a new universe to form, and it's not hospitable inside of the fold. I know Elia's been trying to create beings that are strong enough to survive the travel. I've been trying to find an alternative to that, and I haven't found one yet. So again, please...
Elia's trying to fucking what?
She's trying to make people who are strong enough to be able to make it in the fold.
How do you know that?
Because listen. We have to consider aligning ourselves with her, just for a little bit.
Oh my god.
Can you listen to me? We need her and the king to make the jump.
Can you listen to us? You hear who you are allying yourself with? You're so afraid of losing yourself, of dying, that you are willing to ally yourself with horrible people who are willing to sacrifice folks to save themselves? The hell is wrong with you?
I'm not going to get anywhere talking with any of you, am I?
I don't like the idea of jumping ship and abandoning this universe altogether.
Yeah.
We have to try to save it.
You're not going to agree with me, are you?
Absolutely not.
No matter who talks to you?
What the hell does that mean?
Who else agrees with this idea?
Yeah.
You see her face at this point has kind of started to fall as she's grown darker during this whole conversation. And she looks to all of you and she sighs at that and kind of puts her hands down on the desk.
Unfortunately, this really isn't entertaining anymore. I think I'll just grab what I need to and go.
And she kind of gives you a smile at that, Brandy.
At least I gave it my best effort. Such a waste, too. I spent so much time making you perfect, and for what?
Oh,
I knew that was fucking Elia, this fucking bitch.
What the fuck?
And at that, she looks to you and she's like, well, we should be going then. And she snaps her fingers and her and Avayath vanish.
What? No!
Oh,
Counterspell.
How long has this been?
Counterspell. Fucking counterspell.
Okay.
Fuck. I'm so nervous. I don't want this to happen. Come on, Brandy. Fuck! Brandy! God damn it.
So you vanish, Avayath, and you reappear again, and you are in just this really strange building. It kind of reminds you of Arthur's lab, except it's not exactly the same. The technology doesn't seem to be quite there. It's a super reflective material, and looking around you, there are just these rows of these very high-tech containers, and you are standing across from Elia with her her back to you, and you see in front of her is just another one of these huge containers, and inside of that, there looks to be a duplicate of you in full armor.
Originally, I was planning on taking you down here and trying to convince you, all that, we can get rid of your horn, those gross silver lines, put you into a new body, but we kind of have to skip over the part where I try and convince you.
I don't think I'm willing to listen to you right about now.
Well, you won't have much of an option. This is a clone, so if I kill you, you'll go into that one.
Well, Avayath grabs out a sword, I guess. Bring it on.
We will go back to the others who are in Estel's study.
No.
What the fuck?
Where'd Yaya go?
I'm gonna cast fucking scrying on Avayath.
Okay.
It says if a target knows I'm casting this spell, I will fucking cast fucking sending to Avayath first.
Okay.
Oh no, shit! Wait! It takes 10 minutes to cast, is the problem.
Describe.
Yep. Shit. Brandy will grab Theo and Shui and just be like, we gotta go. And just start running out of the library and cast sending to Avayath and be like, Avayath, where the hell are you?
I don't know. It looks like Arthur's lab, but there's a clone of me in here.
Sorry.
Okay.
I will say, upon running out, very obviously that big blue building is just lit up, almost like it's glowing.
Yeah, that's my first thought of where he went.
I wonder where that bitch is. Let's go.
Runs there.
Oh boy.
So you guys run inside the building, and as you do so, you can see kind of near the end where originally it was just kind of like a blank wall at the end, basically. There's kind of like a little passageway that seems to have been slightly opened a bit, and you can see like spiral staircases starting to go down. Also, as you're running past, you notice both Marfire and Titus's containers are empty.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Pierre.
Titus.
We'll focus on that later. We gotta go find Avayath now.
Yeah.
You guys go down. It takes you a while because it is very clearly like several levels down. And at this point, Avayath, you're gonna have to roll just to see, because you will have gotten a couple hits off before they get down here.
Truly just fucked up of you. Just so rude of you.
Sorry. I've had this plan for too long to not go through with it. So.
Truly fucked up of you.
Avayath can handle himself.
Until he gets turned into like a fucking floor tile.
Yeah, he's about to get melted into the goddamn ground, literally. She's about to suffocate you using your own helmet.
She didn't get very high, so she's got a 12.
Avayath goes first.
All right, go for it.
Avayath starts flying so that he can't be melted into the ground.
Good call! Wise.
And then he's immediately going to cast Blinding Smite as a bonus action.
Okay.
He's going to start wailing, just swinging as hard as he can. 28 to hit. Oh.
Jesus.
All right, hold on 1 second.
Okay.
28 to hit.
Yeah.
As a reaction, she's going to impose disadvantage on you as she uses a spark ability.
Still spark.
Ooh, okay. 27 to hit.
Matter, yeah, boy!
Yeah, you're still gonna hit her.
Fuck it up,
Avayath is fucking ready, apparently. I'm gonna Divine Smite that as well.
45 altogether.
Oh my god.
And that was just your first hit.
Yeah, that was the
Gotcha.
first thing. She has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, 19.
19 succeeds. Okay, so she's not blinded. But it still does the full damage, I think.
Gotcha.
He swings again.
25 to hit.
Another Divine Smite.
Gotcha.
Jesus, nice. That's fucking 35.
It looks like you make contact with her almost for a moment, but then you see a green sphere kind of like expand out from her, and she takes none of that damage.
Oh.
She still has other girls'
truly
goddamn
fucked up.
spark.
That is truly fucked up. Because Tinder went to go see Estel to talk to. Okay.
Tinder went to
okay.
see Estel and she.
Okay. Truly fucked up.
Cassie, fuck you with this.
Listen.
It's funny because Shui was like, what if Elia comes back and gets you again? And she was like, that'll be fine.
That's fucked up.
And so she looks at you at that, and you're flying above her, and she's just like, well, that would have hurt, wouldn't it?
There's more where that came from.
This girl.
She's going to fireball you.
Yeah.
Oh,
That makes sense.
Oh, you need to make a dexterity saving throw.
You got this, Avayath. You got this, Avayath. You got this.
Nat 20, that's a 26.
All right, so you'll just take half.
Avayath. Fuck yeah, dude.
This is the hero.
Avayath fighting for his life down here.
Yeah.
He's like, I wanted to throw hands with Elia for so long.
I've been waiting for this fucking moment.
So you'll take half of 29.
Cassie was so ready
Cassie's
to kill
been
you.
waiting to fucking kill you.
Cassie was so ready to make that hero archetype come true.
Literally,
All right, so you get another attack before, we're doing one more round before people get down here.
Well, since Avayath saw that last attack didn't do anything, he takes off the helmet. His eyes and mouth starts glowing this powerful radiant energy. The halo appears above his head again as he transforms into his Scourge Asmer form.
Ooh, right off the bat, here we go.
Ooh.
And I think she takes damage immediately. At the end of each of your turn, you and each creature within 10 feet of you take radiant damage equal to half your level rounded up. 15, so half of that rounded up.
so 8.
We both take 8 radiant damage.
She looks like she took that.
Avayath is resistant, so he only takes 4. He'll use his Channel Divinity, he'll 1d6 plus 5. He'll use Turn the Tide, 9 HP. That doesn't bring him to full. That ability really doesn't do much.
She's gonna cast Psychic Crush.
Yeah, that's rough.
So you're going to need to make a, what save is it?
Intelligence?
Intelligence, it is, yeah.
Oh god. She's like, you're stupid.
Look, Avayath.
Everyone knows Avayath's big brain.
Come on, Avayath.
6.
This is gonna hurt you.
All right, so you are going to take 56 psychic damage. And you are stunned for 1 minute.
Oh.
Oh, for 1 minute.
Yep. You can try to roll against the stunned effect again on your next turn.
Oh, okay.
As long as she doesn't merge you in one go.
At that, your friends have made it on these spiral staircases as they see Elia standing in front of this giant container that holds another Avayath, and you currently stunned, so you fell 5 feet onto the ground. As you all have made your way down here at this point, and she kind of looks over towards all of you.
Oh good, everyone's here now. Well, I'm quite tired of just sitting in the background of this lovely plot that you've all set up.
And at that, she smiles and extends her arms outwards, like dramatically, and you see hundreds of purple eyes start to open up on her skin as she looks towards you.
How about some audience participation?
Hello, everyone. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Chosen Ones. If you weren't aware, we recently hit 10K followers on TikTok and are finally able to unlock some of the features we were waiting on to be able to make more content tailored to the show there. We also joined the creativity program, so watching our TikToks if they're over a minute long does also help us out. Just keep in mind that you have to watch at least 5 seconds, and your view only counts once. We honestly don't get much from it, but every little bit helps. The link is in the description, so give us a follow. A big thank you to our high-tier patrons, Clayton, Spectre324, Spirit, Bigreddog, Keilan, Bubby, Zab, and Mr. Bakudan. If you haven't already, make sure to like the episode and leave a comment. We'll see you soon, fellow Sparks.